Black Adam. You go.
What's up, Council of Comics? We're going to review Black Adam.
To the best of my knowledge. Now, I went to Black Adam. It was good.
Bro. It was
But
good.
the fight scenes. All right, first of all, let me get my little bit in there. I love Hawkman. Dr. Fate was the guy. Adam Smasher was really good. Cyclone was like, fight scenes were great. Campy dialogue.
A bit.
A bit. But outside of that, the critics are killing it, dogging it.
And you know what? Too bad for them because people are loving it, and that's all that matters. Audiences all the way.
Now, one thing before we go on. What was the big hype that Superman showed up? That they're going to eventually fight?
Well, just first of all, that we're getting Superman back, period.
True,
And
true.
of course, everyone wants to see them fight. Great. But mostly that Superman is back.
Yeah.
Back, baby.
I thought Hawkman was pretty good.
Hawkman was great.
Yeah, Hawkman was great.
But Doctor Strange,
Killed it.
Dr. Fate, Dr.
Dr.
Fate
Fate
stole every scene. I'm horrible.
Dr.
horrible.
Fate.
That, I guess that's one critique, right? It's the idea that I got to come down. And one critique for me was the fact that it felt very much like, the Marvel movie. This is the thing. Like Dr. Fate is so much like Doctor Strange. The Atom is so much like Ant-Man. And who else? I mean, there's other analogs there, So they did feel very, it's like we've seen it before. And I think that's one of the main critiques of the movie. But having said that, the movie was great, right? It's fun.
The movie
Rock
was
is
great.
Fun.
Grace
Yeah, The Rock was
Randolph compared Cyclone to Storm. I think she should learn to keep her mouth
I was going to
shut.
say, though, the special effects. Well, right,
say
the
bad
special
things
effects-
about Grace.
The special effects in the movie, like,
Were really good.
Again, I
They were
heard a
good.
critique before I went in that the special effects didn't hold up for such, a multi-million-dollar film. But
The special effects were
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
they
they held
definitely
up.
held up.
yeah.
I love everything Dr. Fate did. I thought was amazing.
Well, I thought even like you said, Cyclone. I thought she looked cool.
Yo, Cyclone looked cool,
Yeah.
and every time she's flying and the camera slows down on her, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, they make it like like the wind, the way that like she's pulling the nails and stuff from items around in the environment and stuff. I thought it looked good. Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought it was
great.
cool. So and when Black Adam is fighting
And calling the lightning.
yeah, it looks good, right?
It looks
Like,
really
yeah,
good.
Looks really good. He looks really good. That's the thing. It's like I think he's a strong enough actor to carry the franchise. Like so, yeah, he's carrying the DC franchise on his back.
Okay, not all of it. Okay, let's not go that far, all right?
He killed
The
it.
movie, he does kill it. It's great, but the movie, it does not carry the franchise. It's enough to change course. I feel the movie does an excellent job changing course.
Right, but I agree. Like, okay, Superman was trying to carry it for a minute. Batman carried it for a minute. Now Black Adam come along with The Rock, and he could possibly carry it to go different angles, different
That's good.
different places and stuff. So the only thing that got on my nerve was the little boy. The boy was like, he was mad annoying. It's like
The kid was annoying?
Yeah, the kid.
I like the kid. Why does everyone have to hate a kid in a movie?
Because he kept running into
To danger?
that was really campy, like on a skateboard.
Yeah, in a city that's under the control of Intergang, which, by the way,
Okay.
the movie introduces all sorts of stuff, including Intergang, right? Which they don't even name what country they came from. But Intergang in the comics, all of their weapons and vehicles come from Apocalypse technology.
You in a desert-like country,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
you're on a skateboard, you have smooth surfaces all throughout the city to ride this
Well, in
skateboard
the
on.
city he did, right?
And the
I
city's
don't
dead. The
think
city's
so.
paved.
I don't think so. There's sand everywhere. There's rocks everywhere. Smooth. Look. You're only going so far, and then he's fighting with a skateboard. I get it.
Hey, his mom even fought with that skateboard.
I get it.
That's true
Yeah.
too. She
I
got-
get it.
She
got the
grabbed it,
skateboard
but
too.
pow! I was
Yeah.
like, all
The
right.
other thing is right? Like, I think they didn't shy away from the violence, obviously,
They
right?
sure
And
did.
Black Adam kills
Not
a
one
lot
bit.
of people.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're bad guys, but also, he's being judge, jury, and executioner doing a lot of
And
people.
what's great is the community is certainly being a judge in the movie,
Mhm.
right? Because the people of Kandak are like, oh my God, Black Adam is everything, and then Hawkman's like, no, we have to bring him in, and like, what is wrong with you? Who are you? Who's the Justice Society? What is that? And what justice do you serve when we were invaded?
Right,
When
'cause
we
they-
were taken over by Intergang?
Where
Where
these
were
guys?
you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It wasn't until Black Adam's on the scene does Justice Society get
Yeah.
Involved
but they get activated or whatever you want to call
by
it.
Amanda
right?
Waller.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's the thing. It's like it's not political until it is, right? Like
Right.
until Black Adam shows up.
Right.
So,
It's like we just
I
want to
think they
bring
were trying to
political
make-
stability.
Right. I think and their excuse is political stability, but it's like where was that 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 100 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like how long has Dr. Fate been Dr. Fate?
Yep. Like 100 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
He's,
you know?
he's old. So, yeah.
So anyhow, and again, I thought the movie had good clarity for its plot. I'm upset a lot of reviewers are saying the movie's plotless. I don't think so. Right? Like she wants the crown of Sabak, the seven demons, right? Sabak ends up being the main villain anyway. And she's got her little crew. This is the main character. I wish I could remember her name. I should have done more research for this. And it's made of this precious metal that's only found in Kandak, And so, of course, that's like the catalyst for the movie. And she is reading stuff. She's like transcribing what's on the ground. And she says Shazam and it awakens Black Adam, Well, there's like a whole magical thing she has to read. But, when she says Shazam, it awakens him. And then, of course, he protects her.
And nothing is as it seems, which is cool. There's
Right,
a
nothing's as it
twist,
seems.
so.
Right.
Right, because when she called down the lightning went to him. She didn't call it like Shazam, but it would have came to her.
Yeah.
She read the
Right, because she was reading the thing.
and it went to him.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool.
Exactly. It woke him up. It didn't like hit her and turn her into Miss Marvel or something. Yeah.
Yes.
So she couldn't do it again. Use the Shazam thing. She could only read the
Right, she could read the word. Doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything. The power has to be
hieroglyphics.
shared with you,
Yeah.
as we've learned from the Shazam movie.
Yeah.
And the new Shazam series. The Black Adam series.
Which
that's
I
out.
thought I also like the fact that yes, they still went with the magic word is the magic word.
Yes.
It represents different gods,
Yes.
but it's still Shazam.
And it's the same wizard.
It's the same wizard. too,
Right,
which is
the
great,
same
too.
wizard is there.
The other thing I liked about this movie in particular was the fact that everybody is back. Amanda Waller is Viola Davis,
Right,
and the
right.
wizard, that guy that played the wizard in Shazam, and
Yes.
Shazam 2 is in this movie. So, yeah, the
And,
continuity was pretty good.
And I was gonna say the girl who works for Amanda Waller.
Right.
She
shows
shows up later in the movie.
And she was in,
At a
like I
task
said,
force
she was in,
S.
she
was in Peacemaker,
in
yes.
Peacemaker, and so,
James Gunn's wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why she's there. And she should be working for Amanda Waller. Like Amanda Waller,
She's still
wouldn't
working
be
for her,
there,
yes.
right? But she could be, so it made sense. Yeah. So the continuity was good. For the
Very
movie
good.
within the
Well, I
universe.
gotta make up. What is it? I gotta tell the truth. I kept falling asleep because I woke up 2 a.m. in the morning, and when I went to see an early matinee, I was getting the best fight scenes in the world. So these guys know more about the interaction. But I gotta see it again so I can do this over. But what I saw.
But the
I
fight
couldn't-
scenes were great, right?
Yeah,
They were great.
They woke me up. I like Hawkman. Hawkman.
And everything was nth metal. His armor was nth
Yeah.
metal. The wings, his
Yep.
weapon would
rip it
transform
apart.
into different
the plane
weapons.
that they
The
flew
plane
into
was
was
all
plane,
nth
yeah.
metal.
That's what the thing was. It was like you can't, you can't cut it, you can't break it. You can't,
Yeah.
The only person that heard it was Sabak at the end after he got the power of the seven demons.
Well,
He's the only one who snapped the ship.
I mean, he kind of knocked it down. I mean, because it came apart anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, but it looked like he actually damaged it. But it took the power of somebody who summoned seven devils
Yes.
to hurt the ship.
To even
I
interact
thought
with
that was cool. In other words, it's nth metal. The only people who should be able to make the tiniest dent should be
maybe Black Adam.
Black Adam and Superman. Right, it should only be that level of punching. And I guess Wonder Woman can punch that hard, so
Speaking
yes.
of which, let's talk about that post-credit scene.
The post-credit scene is amazing.
Wait, are we spoiling the post-credit scene?
We're allowed to.
Yeah.
The embargo is off.
Oh. Yes.
So
Oh, damn.
anyhow, it's just so Black Adam is fully reborn by the end of the movie, right? Cape and everything. And he's sitting, is he sitting on the new throne of Kandak?
No, but that was it. She asked him, "How do you does it fit you in a sense? Does it fit you sitting on the throne?" And he was like,
Yeah, that's the regular throne. But where
Right.
he's sitting at the end of the movie when the Amanda Waller drone comes to speak to him.
Oh, I thought he was still sitting in the same spot. pretty
No, because he
much.
destroyed it.
That's right.
Unless he's sitting on the rubble and he
just
feels
sitting on the rubble.
rubble
Yeah, he wasn't.
suits him.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to represent the throne at all. Yeah.
So I think he's sitting on the rubble at the end. Again, it's like a dark scene, but you can see everything that's important. So there's a drone from Amanda Waller, and it activates, and she goes, I hope you understand what you've done, and stay in Kandak. Stay within your
Yeah,
borders.
yeah.
You've altered the course of things, stay there. And he's like, who are you to threaten me? He's like, no one on this earth is powerful enough to stop me. And she's like, I can call in a favor from people who are not from this earth. Right?
Yeah,
And he goes,
yeah.
get them. And she's just like, As you wish.
Well, then he blows up her drone too.
Does
That's
he
it.
blow up her? Oh yeah, he
Yes,
does. With a
he
little
blows up
zap,
the
he
drone.
zaps. He blows up the drone, and as the smoke clears, it's Superman descending through the smoke and standing in front of him.
So he got there quick.
Yes. And he's like, or he was on standby by Amanda,
Mhm.
and he's like, it's been a long time since anyone's made the world this nervous.
But
So-
he does say we should talk. That's
And
why
we
he
should
said
talk.
we should talk.
Superman, well, that's the thing I like about
Superman comes
Superman.
in with the
Superman's like, we should talk before fists are thrown.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're back to that dark and blue.
No, we're back to colorful red and blue.
Okay, as long as it's color.
And they
came out of the-
played
it came out of the
the
dark,
John
yeah.
Williams music gently around his appearance, which I really like the Junkie XL Superman music. I feel like it's ode to this Superman.
right. It's own.
It's no John Williams.
But it's its
No,
own-
but do
it's
you
its
honestly
own-
like
Nothing is.
when you see him flying in to punch Steppenwolf, do you like the John Williams music or do you prefer the Junkie XL music?
John Williams.
Are you crazy?
Okay.
I love the original
Don't
Superman.
ask me the question if you don't want an answer.
For fighting
But no,
Steppenwolf,
but like, yeah.
watch that scene. Turn the mute that scene. Play the John Williams music and tell me how you feel.
All right. Another thing.
Because like that.
Yeah, it's different.
I like it.
Another thing that was brought up in the movie that Hawkman said that fate taught him how to make these.
Well, because the
astral
helmet
images.
decides who's allowed to touch it, right? So that means Hawkman's known Fate long enough that he's allowed to touch the helmet and he can learn a trick from Dr. Fate.
No, okay.
You know, and because the helmet has its own personality, right? It's like, okay,
Yeah,
we're
they're
gonna
both.
do
They're
this for Kent. So like, do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they had Dr. Fate for that character.
He's still everything.
Costume, everything was like.
Pierce
on
Brosnan was
point.
amazing, and everybody wants a Dr. Fate movie or series
Yes.
with Pierce Brosnan, and his character dies.
Yeah.
He like,
But they can still do a prequel.
Yeah,
And then they could also.
yeah.
And the other thing too is he could kind of hand off he knows about who his predecessor is going to be.
Because
right?
that look on his face, like
I
he
mean,
had
his,
an idea that
he knows
yes,
he's gonna follow.
could have been
he's gonna follow
someone.
him. Yeah,
going to be next.
because he could see the future.
Right.
Dr. Fate can see the future. So yes, I could
That
see.
was so cool.
would
although
know
he makes
what's
that
gonna come.
that speech at the end, he's like, for the first time in 100 years, I see the future and I see nothing and I feel wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, damn.
Yeah, that was crazy.
All right, give me your scores.
My score is an 8 out of 10.
I like that 8 too. I like the 8. Yeah.
My issue with the movie, like I had said earlier before we recorded, was it doesn't like reinvent the wheel or anything. So I would have to give it like a 7, a little bit lower. But still, that's
A
more.
little
bet-
bit.
well, it's
Don't go lower
your
than a 7.
number,
It's still
but
still
it's higher than it's not. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because I've heard like
A lot of dog in
negativity
this.
or whatever, and it's like
it doesn't
nah,
deserve all
it's
that
entertaining,
negativity.
right?
Yeah.
The other thing is I have to look at the movie like Cliff and I had spoken about this earlier. It's like when we sit down and watch it again, probably. I don't even know that I
Yeah,
would watch Superman
yeah.
Man of Steel again, but I would definitely.
I've
Black
watched Man of
Adam
Steel
again.
many times.
I know you have
for very
but-
different reasons.
Right, but I think I would. I know, but like I'm saying, like with this movie, I would be like, if it was on, I'm gonna watch it probably all the way to the end. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for our review of Black Adam. Go see it in theaters if we haven't ruined everything for you, or
Right,
go
we
see it
talked
again.
everything about it.
Well, and make sure you go November the 11th to see Wakanda Forever.
Oh well, that like.
I'm like,
oh,
you're already
I know,
going.
right?
We know
Yeah, yeah. Everybody's going to see that movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Madness. Yeah. Rogue Nation 845. Bro.